I can tell that New Balance is more excited about this running shoe, the FuelCell Rebel V5, than any other shoe that they've released in a while. They're hosting fancy launch parties around the shoe, they've released a bunch of colorways, I'm getting a bunch of emails about it, and I'm trying to figure out, why is this shoe making everybody freak out? We're gonna find out. Here's our full review. So New Balance's FuelCell Rebel line has been around since 2019. They're light, fast running shoes that are meant for workouts. And like their name suggests, the Rebels don't really seem to follow industry trends. So while other workout shoes have slowly become bigger and bulkier, the Rebel has remained somewhat minimalist through its 5 iterations. And while other workout shoes have increasingly started to add carbon plates or nylon plates or even carbon rods inside of their midsoles, this guy is still all foam. And the result, I guess, is a shoe for those who might not want to have a whole lot of carbon under their feet for workouts, or those who aren't fans of super heavy workout shoes, and who instead would opt for something that's fast and sleek and honestly looks good enough to just walk around in. So here's how the Rebel V5 is made. By 2025 standards, this is actually a super simple shoe. There are essentially 2 components. The first one is the midsole, which is a blend of PEBA and EVA foam. So PEBA being the very fast and responsive super foam that New Balance uses in their racing shoes, and then EVA foam being the foam that they would use in their more conservative daily trainers, like the New Balance 880. So think of the Rebel as a blend between your easy running shoes and your racing shoes. This midsole blend uses fuel cell technology, which is basically slang for it being nitrogen infused. So essentially it's just a slab of really squishy and cushiony foam. And again, no carbon plate. So you're just stepping on about 35 millimeters of pretty densely packed foam that still is pretty squishy to the fingers. And then on top is this super detailed upper that gets super thin around the toes, but that thickens around the heel just to give you a bit of extra comfort and support. Then add a bit of tread at the bottom and you basically have your Rebel. In fact, that's how New Balance keeps it relatively light. It's a very little bells and whistles kind of workout shoe. Now, my first impression of the Rebel was that it was some sort of like hype shoe, and I wasn't sure if it was more made for runners or influencers or what, because New Balance held an event in my home city of Toronto to launch the Rebel, and I checked it out. There was a bit of everything. But regardless, I was excited about the shoe because it's really hard to find a workout shoe that's lightweight and fast and that doesn't have any carbon. And a carbonless workout shoe, I think, is a commodity because, yeah, carbon's awesome and it makes you run fast, but also it's very hard. Like, you bounce off the ground in a not so comfortable kind of way. And so whenever you can find a shoe that's light and fast and that doesn't give you that like hard bounce off the pavement, it's worth holding on to. And I thought the Rebel might be it. In fact, after wearing it a couple times, it started to remind me of an old favorite of mine from New Balance from a way past bygone era, the 1400, which was my favorite workout shoe back in university, like 10 years ago. But all that said, in that last decade, I've become so used to big, powerful, bulky shoes that I wasn't sure if the Rebel would actually have enough pop for my liking. So I started to work out with it, and here's my assessment. So if New Balance's goal was to create a unique shoe, I'd say they totally succeeded. The Rebel might be the fastest workout shoe that I've put on that doesn't have any type of plate. It's just foam. It's nice, squishy foam that I haven't really seen much from New Balance inside of their non-racing shoes. The Rebel is cool because it's not a racing shoe, but it's kind of anything else. You could easy run in these shoes. You could do a workout in them. Apparently, New Balance has positioned them to also be like streetwear. I don't know if I'll go that far. I wouldn't put it past myself to wear running shoes out in the town, but I don't know. I think I will save these for workouts. The feeling is like they're kind of squishy underfoot, but not slow. They do have a good rebound off the ground.
It's been a problem in the past with some editions of the Rebel where people would say, and I agreed with this, that they would like kind of push your feet inwards and force you to pronate a bit, which wasn't good for me because I'm a pronator anyway. Not the case with these. I find them to be really sturdy. Not a stability shoe, a neutral shoe, but a stable one. You know what? I think anything from an easy run to a threshold run, I would trust these shoes. Yep, I'm pro Rebel V5.
Okay, so let's rate the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V5. Starting as always with design. Now, form and function here. There are two parts. Form, the shoe looks awesome. I like the colorways. I actually think New Balance succeeded in making a shoe that you can wear casually and not look like a runner who got lost on his way to run club. Then beyond that, the function is also great. I mean, props to New Balance for creating a shoe that can go fast without any type of carbon or nylon or plastic in the midsole. It gets an 8.1 for design. Next up is performance. Now, a workout shoe has to be fast. That's pretty much how I grade performance inside of a workout shoe. And again, props to New Balance for making a shoe that's so light. And not only is it light, with the tread at the bottom, it's durable. And so for that, it deserves a good score. We're giving it a 7.8 in terms of performance. Next up is comfort. Now, for a shoe this fast, I find the Rebel very comfortable. In fact, to me, the Rebel is a lot more comfortable than New Balance's other prime workout shoe, the Super Comp Trainer. I like the Rebel for how squishy it is while still being responsive on the landing. I like how the rock forward profile is there, but not too aggressive. The only knock I have for it is that the toe box is a little bit narrow to the point where, yeah, I would probably go a size up or a half size up. I would go about a half size up on this shoe, but otherwise it's very comfortable on the foot. So we gave it a 7.7. And finally, value. This is where the Rebel scored highest. It's a good specialty workout shoe priced for some reason as like a second-rate trainer. It's a great bang for your buck, and so we gave it an 8.5. And overall, that brings the Rebel score to an 8 flat. And finally, what's the verdict? Should you buy the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V5? I talk to a lot of people who like to stay away from carbon on their workout days, just to preserve that psychological advantage for race day. But at the same time, they want a workout shoe that's fast. The Rebel is for those people. If you want something fast without having a super shoe on your hands on workout day, this is a great option. It also feels pretty good on the feet at slower than workout paces, which makes it a good option for like a fartlek workout or even some interval training where you're going at easy pace and then at a faster workout kind of pace. I really like it for my progressive runs. Of course, don't forget, if you're in the market for a daily trainer, there are shoes out there that are much more cushioned and maybe better options for just your easy run. Like for example, even if you want to stay in the New Balance, a 1080 or an 880 is likely better for you. And at the same time, if you're looking for the fastest shoe out there, then I would opt for something that has some carbon in it, like a bona fide super shoe. This is, the Rebel exists somewhere in the middle. So again, just remember that it's very much a classic workout shoe. But if that's what you're looking for, it's a great option. And one that won't break the bank either. Now, you settle this for us. Would you wear this shoe, say in this colorway, as a casual sneaker to walk around town? Is it cool looking enough? Let us know what you think. I'm leaning towards yes, but I never trust my own fashion sense, so let's leave it to you. And thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to share it with someone else who might think the same. Our goal is to connect with as many runners like you as possible, and a share goes a long way. Now, happy running, and until next time.